Okay, so at this stage now, we have to modify the handle to both get the 5-degree taper and put the round part in it. So first thing we're going to do, if you look at the um, drawing of the mallet, okay, it's the handle sticks up. Let's assume it's half an inch. So if it's a half an inch taller than the 3.5, it'll be 4 inches down. So let's make a guideline, and we're going to use our tape measure tool. Come here on the end and either draw out or type in at 4 inches. So now we're at 4 inches, and you'll notice there's a guide point at 4 inches. All right, so now we need to come into the component, which is take the selection tool, select the component, and double click, and it will now be in the component edit feature. So we are now editing this component. So the first thing I'm going to do is use the push pull tool, and I'm going to shorten the edge of the component. So this is a component within a component, so I need to double click on that as well. Now I can take my push pull tool, get this face, and push it all the way in until it snaps to guide point. Now you notice, remember when I said this is a duplicate of this? So whatever I did to this is duplicating the lower piece as well. Okay, so now if I click away, it has now changed that and foreshortened it. Okay, now I'm going to create the handle portion of it. So I'm going to get a circle tool. Actually, sorry, got to go back into this again. Double click. And now I don't want to click on the individual piece. I want it just to be on both pieces. So I'm working within that piece. I grab my circle tool, which is the middle one here. I find the midpoint, click once, and I drag out to the point, which is the end point. Since it's square, it creates a circle there. I've created an additional, now I want to push pull that back out. So I hover over that circle, click once, and I'm going to drag this all the way back out. So we are going back out to 8 inches. Press enter, click away. So now I've created that rounded part of the handle. And that's the exact same way you're going to do it on the lathe. You're going to take a square piece and you're going to round it out. Okay, so now I'm going to need to place this piece on top of my other piece. And to do that, I need a different look at it. So I want to look at it from the other side. So I grab my rotate tool here, okay, or orbit tool it's called, and I click and drag, and I want to look at it from this side here. Okay, and now I'm going to get the move tool, and I'm going to say midpoint in handle is the point I want. I click once, and I'm going to go to the midpoint in the 3x5 board and click twice. Well, that's not exactly what I want to do. I want to make it ½ inch higher. So now I go and do my move tool here. Okay, click once, and I'm going to drag out and make sure I'm on the green line, green axis. I'm going to go to ½ an inch or 0.5. So now everything should match up. And if I use my orbit tool, I can come back here and you can inspect and see that everything is in the right orientation. Okay, so let's change my view to something that's more workable. Okay, now if you notice in the drawing, and let's skip over to the drawing again, it says that this is at a 5-degree angle. Okay, so it's not squarely sandwiched in between there, it's cut on an angle. So now that's what we need to make. So we have to come in here, double click, and first thing I want to do is make a guideline. So I am going to, again, go to my tape measure tool, and I'm going to go and find intersection. Okay, and I'm going to drag it straight up and make another line. So now I've made a guideline which is half inch away from the top. Okay, now I'm going to make one other measurement here, and that is to make a guideline with an angle. So I use this protractor tool here, and make sure you are on the blue axis, and I click once, and then I start turning, and you'll notice, here, let's move this up here so you can see the angle. You'll notice the angle, okay? Okay, we want to marry this to here, which is the end point, so that should be 90 degrees. Now if I turn it out, I want to go negative 5 degrees. Okay, so now you'll see the angle. Again, I can click to any point, and then I type in, okay, 5. Press enter. Okay, it has now made that angle at 5 degrees. All right, so we want to do that to the opposite side. So I'm gonna do the same thing here, and I'm going to come in so I can get a view of it. Select my protractor tool. Okay, click once. Make sure I'm on the straight axis. Okay, which should be lined up with this edge. Click twice. Now I can move it to the degree I want. Click a third time. So that's set the degree. I want to change the degree. Type in 5. Press enter. And there you go. I have two 5-degree angles. So now I want to just move my faces in to those marks. Now we can do it in two different ways. But let's show you the simplest way. So make sure again I'm editing this piece now. So now I want to edit this particular component. So again, this is a duplicate of the component. We're just going to edit the one component. So I double click on it. Okay, so I'm now editing this one component. Okay, and now I'm going to move an edge. So I'm going to grab this line here, click once. I'm going to move it, okay, until I can find that intersection. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Okay, Control Z. The other way to do it is to draw a line, okay, on this intersection. So I use my pencil tool. I drew a line, okay, and then it has now created a face here, okay, a separate face, which I can then use my push-pull tool on that face and push it down to nothing. Okay, so my opinion, that's the easier way to do it. Okay, rotate so I view it here again. So again, I get my pencil, I find my intersection of my line here, and my other intersection goes here. Okay, I've created my push-pull tool so I can get my face, and I pull that down to 0. Okay, and I click away, and we are done. Okay, so now I've created a 5-degree angle, okay, and I have created everything I needed to do. Okay, so now I can come back here and I just duplicate this particular component 4 times. Okay, so I'm selected it, Control C, Control V. Okay, that's the first time. I grab it by the corner, I marry the corners, Control V. Okay, grab it by the corner, marry the corners, and Control V. Okay, so if you notice it duplicate, in my case, the measurements were part of the component. It's a little bit messy, so I'm just going to go in here and take out these components, or take out these parts from the component. Okay. Okay, so I click on that, delete, click on that, delete, click on that, delete. Okay. So there you go. There's your completed mallet. Okay, so it's got the round base, and it's got the taper on the inside, and it's got the four pieces. It's the right size. Okay, you can put some more dimensions in here if you want, and that's it.